Good evening, students.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Now we start with the next point, that is social collaboration. Collaboration is coming together or integrating of the businesses for the mutual benefit of each other, or maybe it refers to the processes that help multiple people or the groups to interact with each other and disseminate the information among themselves. So here, these groups, they have the common objectives or some goals to be achieved. And with the help of coordination or collaborative approach, the transfer of information through this mutual understanding or joining hands together, we can say, is easily transferred, or with the help of technological innovations and through disseminations with the help of technology, the exchange of ideas, the exchange of processes, technology is possible, or we can say transforming of the ideas or the data. Now here, with the help of technology, that means through the digital platforms. Today, many of the softwares are there or the apps are there, which or the social networking websites are there, which connect the people, the masses, the businesses. So this is one of the innovation that the technology has gifted us. That is, through digitization, one can have the collaborative approach where the people, the processes, they interact among themselves. Here, through this collaborative approach, many of the systems, many of the processes, or many of the businesses, they can be integrated, and hence we say it has an integrated approach. Now it facilitates a brainstorming process where new ideas may emerge due to varied contributions of individual. Now we, each and every individual as a personality, has our own skill sets. So think of experts. If you think of the experts, they have their own skill sets. And when such people, they come together and exchange their ideas, maybe suppose an R&D project is there or some other project is there where the organization requires the people from the varied backgrounds. So this social collaboration gives them the opportunity to come together and work on that project, implement the project. So people from different background, different educational profiles, different skill sets, interests, culture, age groups, they interact with each other with the help of this social collaboration. Now, each of them has individual thought processes and approaches. This helps the knowledge transformation or transfer of knowledge from one unit to the other unit. This unit may be a process, maybe human beings, etc. So here the ideas are exchanged Professional projects or social networks could serve the partners or colleagues within the same organization. Hence, social collaboration allows businesses to communicate among themselves. It serves as a platform to get people connected and get involved among themselves. Now, social collaboration softwares, it helps in communication between various parties. Like, as I said, it may be B2B collaboration, business to business collaboration. Now, if you see, you may have a group of uh, startup venture firms, or maybe the entrepreneurs coming together, or the industrialist. Maybe they are working in the same field, they come together and establish the relationships. It's not that there is always the competitor approach. It can be a collaborative approach. See, every organization has certain strengths and certain weaknesses. So here, if two of the firms they collaborate, okay, the weaknesses can be overcome by the strength of the competitor. If two of these giants they come together, then the sky is the limit for them as far as business growth is considered. So today, instead of having the competitive approach, the organizations, the firms are shifting to the collaborative approach. Now, may not be that both of them they are from the same field. They may be having LinkedIn businesses. Okay, so here maybe both of them they come together to serve a common purpose of the customer. Now, if you take an example of a yatra.com, I had given you an example. Okay, similarly here the tour and travel operators and the maybe the restaurant firm or the restaurant services or the hotels, they can collaborate and mutually they can collaborate. Now here even between the customers, this collaboration is possible. Among the customers and the employees of the organization, it is possible, which gives more space. Now you can take an example of the customer care centers here, which directly when you are in contact with the employees of the customer care department and on the behalf of the company, they take the cognizance of the issues raised by the customers. So this gives scope for the customers also to address their queries at a faster pace. It establishes transparency through discussions, further strengthening the trust among these parties. There are tough or crucial times when expert advice or just some suggestions are needed for the firms. Through this such type of social collaborations or such type of firm or forums, by including all the participants on a common platform, it can help in solving a crucial problem. It can help in overcoming the challenges also for the firms. Collaboration promotes mutual understanding between the parties. It builds stronger relationships and networking among both of these parties. So, with the help of this technology, it helps to solve the problems quickly or overcome the challenges, as it gives scope for both the parties to communicate simultaneously. It's more of the interactive relationship which exists between these parties. Hence, even if you think from the customer satisfaction point of view, customer relationship building point of view, the companies they get this opportunity to collaborate with the customers themselves directly instead of asking the intermediaries about the satisfaction level of the customers directly, the company or the firm takes the feedback from the customers, and they easily come to know about what the customer perceives about the company, about their products, whether there are any feedbacks or suggestions from the customers. Now, if you take an example of the social media channels which have the impact on the businesses, like we have the social networks like LinkedIn or Google Plus. Here, the connectivity is at a faster pace. The blogs and microblogs are other options. You have WordPress, Blogger, or Twitter. All these are the mediums which are becoming more popular today. You have many media sharing sites where the videos, the photos, the presentations, or the audios are shared. YouTube, Flickr, Dailymotion, Picasa, Pinterest, SlideShare are the options available for the masses. Wikis or user-generated content, okay, like Wikipedia or Wikitravel, have a large pool of information to disseminate among the masses. We also have the social bookmarking and the news sites, which is also known as the tagging, wherein you understand the content of the resource before downloading it. You come to know whether it is of a particular interest of your area, like Google Reader or Reddit. You also have discussion forums and message boards like Yahoo groups. You also have social events like Eventful or Meetup. Now, all of these channels, social media channels, are becoming more popular because it helps to disseminate the information. At a single go, you get the large pool of data available here. It opens up new avenues or opportunities. By the help of these collaborations, the organizations boost the employees' efficiency and productivity. It gives the scope for the employees to upgrade their skills through the internal collaboration of the channels. Now here, when we say many of the managers, they are linked internally. There is the cross functional collaboration also, which enhances the employee productivity. Suppose if a employee needs any data through the centralized data repository, it can be easily made available to that employee at that particular time. He can, with the help of this social collaboration media internally, the person gets connected to the required expert advice or maybe the data which he needs at that particular time. Also, this gives an opportunity as an innovative driver which promotes the knowledge and the involvement. So here, when people start involving with others and there is exchange of ideas, a sense of belongingness starts developing among the employees, among the parties. It gives scope for sharing of ideas and the visibility ahead. The challenges or the problems are solved then and there itself. There is no need to wait. Also, it helps in cost saving. Here, the time is also saved as well as the cost is also saved. The transparency in communications leads to employee moral boosting which reduces employee turnover. Today, for the most of the companies, the challenge is in retention of the employees. So such type of collaborative approach or platforms will naturally boost the morale of the employee by enhancing their productivity and will reduce employee turnover, which again lowers the cost of recruitment. It also facilitates the transformation and development of the organization. Now, when if you take into consideration corporate giants, the corporate giant or the companies which operate on a very large scale, they have many strategic business units, and the dissemination of data is possible through such type of collaborations. As we say, it integrates the functionalities, or the managers from different cross-sectional areas are able to communicate. That's why it helps in the development of the firm or the organization. So this is about the social collaborative approaches. Now, any doubts as far as this part is considered? Now, we move ahead with the consumer to consumer electronic commerce. Now here, this business model facilitates the commerce between, or the communication between the individuals, whether it's from the perspective of the goods or from the perspective of services. It connects the people or the businesses with one another. Now, C2C e-commerce is one consumer selling maybe of goods or services to another consumer online, like we have eBay or Craigslist works. Now, it's a type of trade where both the sellers and buyers are consumers instead of businesses. And this selling approach is bridged between or gapped by a third party site which takes care of the details of the transaction. Usually, this is referred as a marketplace. Now, the intermediary platform between the two customers, they take a small part of the small cut, maybe in pricing, or we can say commissions, for bringing both the parties together on the same platform. Now, basically, the purpose of this type of business model is to bring the customers together, those who buy and sell with other consumers, without having to go exactly through the middleman. Though we say that we have a intermediary platform here, but as in our traditional case, huge amount has to be spent for building and maintaining the intermediary in the traditional businesses. But here, it does not involve that much amount. So at a very cheap rate or at a very less cost, it is possible. Such type of business is possible. And many of them, they are realizing the importance of it. So here, the seller would like to keep more of their profits and would connect to the potential buyers. And even the competitive pricing strategy adoption is possible for the sellers here, as they directly pass on the margin to the end customers. They are many a times called as the e-commerce sites. Now here one can think of having a model like single store online or a multi-store. Now the examples of C2C e-commerce sites is like eBay. eBay is the largest auction site on the web. It charges a small amount, or we can say a small fee or a commission for each sale it offers through this transaction in between the sellers and the buyers. Now here the buyer pays the seller with the help of a payment mode, and the seller in charge of the goods once it is shipped to the seller. Now here another example is like it's a Craigslist, which are basically the online classified ads, which just helps the people to find the buyers for the goods or the services which they are looking for. Now even Amazon allows the customers to list items to sell to other consumers. Now it has also become much more popular. So here today, as more avenues or options are open, more of the people are thinking of having their own businesses. Maybe at a very small scale level or for the startup ventures, if you think. So such type of business model helps them to grow, helps them to connect with the people. Now coming on to the next part is person to person model. Now, when we take into consideration the person to person model, the way it operates and how it creates the value for its stakeholders. Now, here the strategy of the business model plays a very vital role. It is related to individual. It can be social or in business context. Now, here you can take an example of the startup firms like starting up of a florist, or maybe having orders for small scale industries, or maybe a niche market where the demand is created, or it is a specialized good or an item. Now here, if you take into consideration the chocolate manufacturers, homemade chocolate manufacturers, okay, you will find that, or bakery products, home-based bakery products, or the services, uh, maybe website designing services, maintenance of your websites. Maybe in this context, a person who is skilled can have a person to person model. Maybe a person who has the skill sets get connected to different firms. Here the requirement of individual firm is different. Or maybe if you are selling a software with reference to ERP managing of the businesses, here each and every business need is different. So the person tries to edit or mold the software packages according to the need of the customers. So here it is need based. Maybe whatever uh, requirements are there for one customer, they not may be the same for the other customer. And that's why we say it's a person to person model. So when we take into consideration FMCG goods or the traditional mode, one cannot think of having this. That's why I gave you certain examples where this person to person model can work. Wherever there are specialized services to be given, expert advice is involved, one can think of having person to person model. This type of business model can be inculcated. So here, if you see, it also opens up the opportunities where suppose the customer is looking for the specific need or specific requirements, and at the same time the sellers would like to sell the goods or services, but they also are looking for the customers with the specific demand. So through these platforms, both of them they get connected. Here the map between the requirement and the skill set is easily matched. Now, when it is person to person model, one does not think of pricing or the traditional mode of business. It can range from any of the field or criteria. Now, next we move ahead with the Internet of Things. Now, today you might have heard about this concept or these terms, which is most read and most spoken. Today, it's an era of machine learning. The physical objects, devices, vehicles, softwares embedded with sensors and technology are connected, and exchange of data is possible. The transfer of data is possible with other devices or systems over the internet or other communication networks. The electronics or the networks, the sensors, automation, all of them collectively enabled the Internet of Things, which came into existence. Now, connecting various objects or devices through sensory mechanism, enabling to communicate real-time data with no interference of human being is the Internet of the Things. So here we expect the activities or the processes to be done by the machine itself. Maybe the human beings just need to program the softwares. Now, Kevin Ashton coined the frame Internet of Things in 1999, though it took a long time, almost a decade, for the technology to transform it into the reality, which now we are experiencing in this era. So here the Internet of Things, it interconnects the human culture, that is our things, with the interconnectedness of digital information system, that is the internet. So to tag the expensive pieces of equipment to help to track their location was one of the first application of the Internet of the Things. That is how it started, to track the initially it was confined to business and manufacturing, where its application was known as machine to machine based. But with the upgradation of technology, artificial intelligence coming into picture, the scope of technology expanded up to our homes and offices with smart devices. transforming the objects surrounding us in our day-to-day life. Today, we see its presence almost in every sector, penetrating maybe the discrete manufacturing, process manufacturing, transportation, utilities, consumer goods. Everywhere we see consumer Internet of Things spending is making the second largest industry segment in today's era. Smart home, personal wellness, connected vehicle, they are seen as much of the spending, and people are increasing their spending on such type of goods. Now here, things are active participants in business information and social processes, where they are able to connect and communicate between themselves and with the surroundings while reacting to the events which are happening and influencing it. Now here, it's not the people who are in the driver's seat. Once the programs are connected or formulated, there is no need for the human intervention as such. The Internet of Things, they are capable of interacting with objects. Now, if you take an example of the smart homes and applications, okay, when we see the applications of this Internet of Things, embedded systems, wireless sensors, network, control systems, automation, including home and building automation, they contribute to enabling the Internet of Things. So if we see the smart homes and its applications such as lighting fixtures, thermostats, home security systems and cameras, and other home uh, applications, with the interconnectivity of one or more of the devices, the ecosystem in our house can be controlled with the help of the electronic devices. The lighting, heating, air conditioning, media, security systems, and camera systems all run with the help of application of Internet of Things. It also has benefited like energy saving by automatically ensuring that the lights are off when you leave home, or electronics are turned off, or by making the residents aware about its usage. A smart home or automated home could be based on a platform or hubs that control smart devices or appliances like Apple's HomeKit. Manufacturers can have their home products and accessories controlled by its application. In iOS devices such as iPhone and the Apple Watch. Now, Lenovo Smart Home Essentials, which is a line of small home devices that are controlled through Apple's Home app or Siri without the need of a Wi-Fi bridge also. Amazon Echo, Google Home, Apple's HomePad, and Samsung's Small Things Hub are the examples, to quote some of them. Smart mirrors, robot vacuum cleaners, wireless kitchen appliances, interactive internet connected devices are transforming every now and then our lives. Now, home automation or automatics is building automation for a home called smart home or a smart house, which we call. So here, Because of these things, it um helps us in automation. Do you feel it's of significance? Yes. It, since it has the technological part, the social part, and the economic significance also. People save time. It becomes much more convenient for them as the technology is taking care of these aspects. Now, the concept of combining computers, sensors, and networks to monitor and control devices, this has existed for decades. But in the era of today's Internet of Things, which has this widespread reality, which includes the Wi-Fi connectivity, widespread adoption of IP-based networking systems, computing economics, advances in data analytics, and the rise of cloud computing. All of them together have helped the Internet of Things place the customer in a convenient zone, we can say. Here one can think of having the internet architecture board, which includes device to device communication, device to cloud communication, device to gateway, or backend data sharing. This is also possible through Internet of Things devices. It has a lot of transformational potential, which connects the objects and takes away the processes ahead. Now, there are also questions or challenges with reference to security, maybe privacy, the legalities, the regulatory, and the rights. But addressing these challenges and ensuring security is again the task to be understood properly and handled. Technology takes care of the technology. That is what we say. Now, when we speak about the home automation part, the heating, the ventilation, the air conditioning, it's all possible to have with the help of remote control of all home energy monitors over the internet, incorporating very usable or friendly interface. The lighting control system takes care of the communication between various lighting systems, inputs and outputs, using one or more of the central computing devices. It is also possible to sense the occupancy of the home using smart meters and environmental sensors. We can have the solar panels connected to the devices, which can automatically run with the help of the integrated smart grid approach. Home robots are used for the remote Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
I don't know. Maybe there was some internet issue. So I got disconnected. So there are various voice control devices like Amazon, we have the Alexa or Google Home, which are used to control home appliances or systems. And today it's it has become much more, it is becoming popular also. So we can say that Internet of Things has given us this helping hand to place ourselves in a very convenient and comfortable zone with the help of this mechanization. Now, the next part is about the smart city. Smart city is an urban area which makes competent use of these electronic gadgets, sensors to manage the day-to-day affairs. It also manages the assets, the resources, if in a very effective way. It helps to improve the routine operations or activities. One can think of having the managing and monitoring of the traffic, the transportation systems, the power plants, the utilities, the water supply networks, waste disposal, crime detection, schools, libraries, hospitals, all connected with the help of internet. Now, the smart city approach, it collaborates the information and the ICT, that is information and communication technology and various physical devices to the electronic devices to optimize efficiency of city operations and ultimately uh, provide convenience or comfort to the citizens of that particular city. It also allows the officials to interact with the masses with the help of infrastructural facilities and control the activities which are going around in that city. So, with the help of this ICT tools, one can think of improving the performance, or one can think of having more convenience, or we can say having the comfortable zone in between the citizens and the government. Now, can you think of some of the examples of smart city? Here, a wider range of electronic and digital technologies to communities and cities is possible. The ICT transforms the life and working environments in that particular area. The government inculcates this technology. Now, to meet the demands of the citizens of that particular area or city and involve the community, the ICT tools are used. Now, just possessing the ICT will not serve the purpose, but the it should be implemented. It should be inculcated in day-to-day routine activities. Hello, hello, Mohit sir.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't know whether there is any connectivity at my end or I don't know at his end. So here, if we take, I was speaking about the examples. Now, digital bus stops or Wi-Fi connectivity, availability of Wi-Fi connectivity, maybe in the public parks with reference to government hospitals. What is all this? This is all is uh, inculcating the Internet of Things into day-to-day routine process. You have the metro coming up, the monorails, introduction of smart cards in the public sector. All this is the depiction of involvement of Internet of Things in day-to-day routine. So here, by making the people adapt to this new improved technological devices, even the government is thinking of including all these aspects in the routine business. If you take energy utilities or maybe transportation, still there is a lot of scope for this Internet of Things to penetrate into many of the cities. You might have seen that we also have the bicycle sharing systems. That is again a part of smart cities. We have the digital libraries in many of the areas. The CCTV camera systems which are linked through integrating it with different monitored gadgets for the safety and security of the public. These all are the applications of this Internet of Things as far as the smart city aspect is considered. Now, if you take into consideration the traffic signals or the traffic lights, okay, they also receive the data from sensors for adjusting the light cadence and the timings which respond to this real-time traffic. So here we can say that it is the initiation phase of Internet of Things being adopted by the cities and has a long way to go ahead. The rest of the part we will discuss in the next session. Okay. Thank you.